There is a place in the Nevada desert where unregistered aircraft take off at 3 in the morning, where workers arrive on unidentified flights, and where commercial satellites are redirected to avoid photographing the perimeter. This place exists. The American government denied its existence for 40 years. And what happened inside has still not been completely revealed. Automatic motion cameras, seismic sensors buried in the ground, armed guards authorized to shoot any intruder on sight without warning. This is not science fiction. This is Area 51, and you are about to discover the 16 secrets they never wanted you to know. If you have never heard the truth about what happens inside, like this video now and subscribe to the channel. Because after today, you will never look at the sky the same way again. Area 51 does not carry that name on official maps. Its real name is Groom Lake Air Base, and it sits at the heart of the Nevada Test and Training Range. Groom Lake has been dry for decades, but the name remained, just like the secrets the American government tried to bury in that same desert. In 1955, the CIA chose this location for a single purpose: to test aircraft that could not officially exist. The project was called Aquatone. The objective was to build a spy plane capable of flying higher than any Soviet missile could reach. The result was the U-2, an aircraft that flew at 21,000 meters altitude and photographed Soviet military installations for years without being detected. But the U-2 was only the beginning. What came after permanently changed what human beings believed it was possible to build. Project OXCART produced the A-12, an aircraft that flew at 3 times the speed of sound and was invisible to most radars of the era. When civilians spotted the A-12 in the sky, a metal point flying at impossible altitude and speed, they reported UFOs. And the government let them believe it. This is the first revelation about Area 51. Most UFO sightings reported in the 50s and 60s were secret American aircraft. The government knew and never corrected the record. In 1947, something fell in the desert near Roswell, New Mexico. The American Army first confirmed it was a flying disc, then changed the story. The second official story was that it was a weather balloon from Project Mogul, a secret acoustic surveillance program targeting the Soviet Union. But witnesses described bodies, not of pilots, of entities with anatomical characteristics no human being possesses. Engineer Bob Lazar claimed in 1989 to have worked at Area 51 in a sector called S4, where 9 flying discs of non-human origin were stored and studied. Lazar described the propulsion system of the craft, a gravitational reactor powered by an element that did not exist in the known periodic table at the time, element 115. In 2003, element 115 was synthesized in a Russian laboratory and added to the periodic table. Its official name is moscovium. Lazar had described its properties 14 years earlier. This is the third revelation. A man described a chemical element 14 years before it was discovered. Official science has no satisfactory explanation for this. The SR-71 Blackbird project produced the fastest aircraft humanity ever built. It flew at over 3,000 kilometers per hour, and it was developed entirely inside Area 51. When the SR-71 was pursued by Soviet missiles, the pilots simply accelerated. No missile of that era was fast enough to catch it. The SR-71 was declassified in 1990. But engineers who worked on it say what was shown to the public is an earlier version of what was actually built inside Area 51. The fourth secret: there exists a version of the SR-71 that was never shown to the public, with capabilities that even today would be considered impossible. In 1974, a Skylab satellite accidentally photographed Area 51. The American government immediately requested that NASA classify the images. To this day, commercial satellite images of Area 51 show deliberately degraded resolution, while military installations in other countries appear with full clarity. The fifth secret. The degradation of satellite images of Area 51 is an active and continuous process. It is not a lack of technology. It is a deliberate choice. Annie Jacobson, a journalist for the Los Angeles Times, published in 2011 the most documented book ever written about Area 51, based on interviews with 74 former employees. What she discovered was disturbing on a completely different level than expected. Not extraterrestrials. Something more disturbing. Genetically modified human beings. Jacobson's most unsettling theory. The Roswell incident was real, but the recovered bodies were humans genetically modified by Joseph Mengele in service of the Soviets to cause panic in the United States. If that is true, and Jacobson cites sources with direct access, then the greatest mystery in American history is not extraterrestrial. It is a Soviet psychological operation that was never resolved. The sixth secret. The alien narrative may be the perfect cover for experiments both sides of the Cold War conducted on human beings, and that can never be officially admitted. In 2013, the CIA declassified documents that for the first time officially confirmed the existence of Area 51 as an aircraft testing installation. But the released documents had more redacted pages, completely blacked out, than readable ones. What was admitted is a fraction of what exists. The seventh secret. In the entire history of Area 51 declassifications, not a single document about unidentified aerial phenomena has ever been released. Not one. The Have Donut program tested captured or spy-obtained Soviet aircraft inside Area 51, learning exactly how to destroy them in combat. American pilots who should never have seen Soviet aircraft flew them inside Area 51 to understand their weaknesses. In future wars, that knowledge saved American lives. The eighth secret. The American pilots who dominated aerial warfare in Vietnam and the Persian Gulf had trained against real Soviet aircraft inside Area 51. The F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first stealth aircraft, was fully developed and tested inside Area 51. For years, its existence was denied. When the F-117 appeared publicly for the first time in 1988, the world's reaction was identical to how we would react to alien technology. Total disbelief. The ninth secret. There exists a stealth aircraft beyond the F-117 that has never been shown to the public. Consistent sightings of a hypersonic triangular craft have been recorded since 1989. Project OXCART had an underground operations hub connected by tunnels to the runways, built so that no activity would be visible from space or from the air. Area 51 workers signed contracts forbidding them from mentioning the name of the location even to their own spouses. Their deaths in service were recorded with fictitious causes. Widows of workers who died at Area 51 sued the American government for illnesses caused by chemical exposure. The government invoked state secrecy to avoid revealing what caused the deaths. The 10th secret. Area 51 workers died from illnesses caused by classified chemical experiments. Their families never learned the real cause. The world's most advanced surveillance drone program was developed at Area 51 decades before becoming public. By the time it was revealed, it was already 2 generations obsolete. The 11th secret. What the world knows as cutting-edge American military technology is approximately 20 years behind what is being tested right now inside Area 51. Project Palladium used Area 51 to generate radar echoes of aircraft that did not exist, deceiving Soviet systems and making them chase electronic ghosts. Soviet pilots were scrambled to intercept aircraft that did not exist. Some ran out of fuel chasing electronic ghosts over the Pacific Ocean. The 12th secret. Area 51 waged a psychological war built on electronic illusions the Soviets never knew were false, and which may have influenced critical Cold War strategic decisions. In 1960, pilot Francis Gary Powers was shot down over the Soviet Union in his U-2. The diplomatic crisis that followed nearly brought the world to nuclear war. Powers survived, was captured, and revealed in Soviet interrogation more about Area 51 than any journalist had managed to uncover in 10 years of investigation. The 13th secret. The Powers incident revealed to the Soviets that Americans had photographed every centimeter of Soviet territory for years. The Cold War was never the same again. Currently, Area 51 employs an estimated 10,000 people. It receives annual investment exceeding $2 billion, and the majority of its operations remain completely classified. The 14th secret. Area 51 has a private airport in Las Vegas called Janet Airlines, a secret airline that transports workers on flights with no public registration number. Janet Airlines flights are trackable on aviation apps like any commercial flight, but they appear with no registered destination, no identified carrier, and no passenger list. The 15th secret. Anyone can track Janet Airlines flights in real time. The secret is no longer about location. It is about what happens after the aircraft land. In 2019, more than 2 million people organized online to storm Area 51. The joke became the largest involuntary security test in American history. Around 6,000 people actually showed up. The American military deployed additional forces, surveillance helicopters, and communication jamming teams for an internet joke. The 16th secret, and the most disturbing of all, is this. The American government spent more resources responding to an internet joke than most countries spend on defense in an entire year. Because when a government protects a secret with that level of resources, not for research, not for diplomatic negotiations, but to stop unarmed citizens from approaching, the secret must be extraordinary. 16 secrets, some confirmed, some documented, some only witnessed by people who have no reason to lie, and all pointing in the same direction. The direction that humanity is capable of, things its governments considered too dangerous to reveal, and that revealing them could change everything. What is happening inside right now? While you watch this video, we genuinely do not know. And that alone is the most honest revelation possible. If this video opened something you cannot close, like it now, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because the next secrets are about places even more inaccessible than this one.